when that party was in government.
I call Catherine Delahunty.
Thank you, Mr Chair. Tēnā koutou te wharenui. Mr Chair, we face an extraordinary spectacle in terms of education at the moment, and it's depressing to have looked at the budget estimates and to have heard the speeches saying that the government absolutely prioritises education, when in fact they've declared war on the education sector. And there's a whakatauki commonly used, and it's been used in an education document I've got here, nā te raurau, nā ku te raurau, ka ai te manuhiri. With your basket and my food basket, the well-being of the people is assured. Now, if you take that and you think about our children, there is no well-being in introducing a system of measurement into the compulsory sector and funding it through this budget to the tune of 66 million over 3 years, when the sector has asked you to trial it, when parents are doing petitions against it, and when schools, 20% of them, have not been prepared, the boards of trustees have not been prepared to put it in their charters. So instead of having a debate over the merits of learning, what we're seeing is a minister attacking a sector and declaring war on the academics, the boards, the teachers and the parents. And it's not a positive move for the children of this country to see this waste of resources in this budget. So is more money going to be spent pursuing these people? Is more money going to be spent sacking boards, appointing commissioners? And that's going to need 400 of them if you look at the schools that are actually not prepared to introduce national standards. I think it's really important to go back to what we're looking for in the next couple of years out of schools. And what we're really needing is some collaboration, some solidarity and some respect in the education sector from the government. Because it's not a game, it's not a political game if you start labelling children losers by the age of 6. And that's what the model that's being resourced actually implies. And if you talk to teachers, which I do, and parents who have received reports which they've been very distressed by, they are saying, my child has been labelled a loser. And that is not an appropriate way to treat children. The Green Party has 10 major concerns about national standards. And one of them is about the way in which children are being labelled. Because many teachers are lifting children's achievement if their English is a second language, for example. They may not reach the standard, but they have actually been lifted in their literacy and numeracy. And there's also a complete failure to understand how learning works, because we've cut professional development, the arts, to science and to anything except the narrow mechanistic definition of what is literacy and numeracy. And we have cut the funding for drama and science teachers, for whom they are the pathway for many students into literacy and numeracy. And if we recognise child-centred learning as the fundamental basis for the education system, why would we do that unless we wanted to create league tables? And that's the failure that has happened in other countries, is that what we've had is a privatisation of a quality public education system in the United States and in UK, and that is where we're going to go if you're going to create league tables, which the media would really enjoy, but it will not help. So one of the concerns is that the national standards do not support the diversity of our children, because guess what? They don't all learn through just one definition of learning. And they learn at different rates. Some 6-year-olds are ready to read, and some 6-year-olds are not ready to read and are learning in other ways, and they're all valuable. We know that because PAT tests, ASTEL and PAT tests identify that issue. Those tests that exist already are absolutely fine. I have struck a nerve, Mr Chair, because people know that the implementation of national standards without the support of the sector is causing mayhem out there in the sector, and is going to require a serious attempt by the government to whitewash, to get those 400 schools to put it in their charter, and they won't want to, they don't want to, and a lot of other schools who have put it in their charter with the most minimal references because it doesn't work. So we know that assessing and reporting tools already exist. We know that refusing a trial is always an indication of ideology, Mr Chair.
I call the Honourable Sir Roger